Hello, this is JC from Real and Simulated Wars. I have the very first video of 2021, and it's gonna be with command modern operations this time. The topic for today is SEAD, suppression of enemy air defenses. So we're going, to test some air warfare here, and I have prepared this scenario, which, in order to show you what I have to show you, I just felt it is better to keep it within the mission editor. I'm going to play it, but of course I know the nature of the enemy defenses because I created this scenario myself, but there is a couple of things that I want to show you with this type of missions. So just to give you an idea of the general area where we're playing this, we're basing our flights from Nellis Air Force Base in Vegas, and they're going, the target area is going to be the Utah Test and Training Range. Yeah, it is a bit far away. It is located in Utah, of course, very close to Salt Lake City. There is a big range over there, and well, I just created this small because the nature of the areas that are set up, they vary with time, I guess. So I just prepared this very mock-up, which is similar to the south area or something like that, south of I-80, which is this route over here. Everything is kind of bright right now. It is 6:24 in the morning, so I'm going to put it a bit dark, in a darker mode, and later we're going to change to another completely different mode, just to see better the nature of the missions that we do have. We, of course, based in the distances, we'll have two refueling trucks here. One is for a KC-135E, and the other one is for the KC-135R. And the aircraft that we're flying today, based in Nellis Air Force Base, it is which many people argue, the very best wild weasel aircraft that has ever been produced in history, which is the Phantom F4G. And of course, just to compare, just to show you how this thing works, because this exercise was very illustrative to me. I'm not here to to give a class or anything like that. Of course, I'm very naive when it comes to all these things, and but it was so enlightening for me on how to conduct this type of missions that I wanted to share with you. And well, we do have in the Nellis Air Force Base, to continue with what we were saying, we have F-16s loaded with HARM missiles. So are the other aircraft, the F-4Gs, which are the typical wild weasels, as I mentioned. We have prowlers to produce some noise and jamming into the enemy air defenses. And we have also, I believe that's pretty much it. So I have the KC-135s already in flight. They have two missions over there to refuel, and this one is a E-3B Sentry, just to provide some signal intelligence over time, just to know where the things are. And well, we're going to be starting this pretty soon. The other thing that I wanted to share with you, it is the following. Let me see if I can see the briefing right here. I am currently reading this book, and it turned out to be quite good. There is another book about wild weasel missions during the Gulf War, which was pretty good, but it's more in the form of a diary. and you have to, you know, dig into to see the tactics and techniques that the F-4s were using during the Gulf War. But this one is pretty decent. It provides like a nice framework to understand how this thing evolved. It has some history and some very nice insights. Also, the new concept for SEAD, that of course is based in the latest generation fighters like the F-22, etc., etc. But I'm just stating here that, you know, the SEAD mission, what it is to neutralize, destroy, or degrade the capabilities of surface-based enemy air defenses. And you can do that by a variety of means, which is just destroying them or just disrupting them by, you know, any type of mean that you can imagine that. And that is taken directly from that book. Actually, that quote over there comes from the Department of Defense Dictionary of Military Terms, which is kind of the official publication of the Department of Defense. And well, in the book you will see that the principles of SEAD are explained. One, it is surprise. It is, you know, basically to catch the enemy air defenses with their pants down. Don't give them, you know, enough warning so they kind of know what is going to come into them. I mean, if they can, you know, these radars are lethal. There's no need to explain. You know, these enemy air defenses are very lethal, and if they are painting you all over the place, the time where they fire a missile and knock you down is going to come without any doubt. So it is pretty much a very kind of obvious type of principle. Then you have the principle of force weight, which is the principle of warfare that we know as mass. It is very important to know that these enemy air defenses, they are kind of very robust, they are redundant, and one aircraft or two aircraft will not do it. You need, you know, a significant amount of effort and in assets to be put into this mission in order to, you know, significantly degrade or destroy these air defenses. And there is also the principle of persistence, and this comes again based on, of course, the systems are redundant. They sometimes have many radars. Sometimes they alternate their operations of their radars in order to defeat the targeting of your wild whistles. They can do many tricks. So it is very important not just to, you know, launch your arms and go back. You need to have keep continuous pressure onto them. And principle number 4 is intelligence. Of course, you know, you need to know what type of threat you're facing. Pretty much obvious. There's many means, either electronic or based in UAVs and you know, infrared acquisition, etc., etc. And then you have the principle of deception. Just keep the enemy guessing what you're going to do. And the most typical thing it is, you know, when you have a very nasty situation and you have to rely on pretty much direct attack, it is to saturate the enemy air defenses with attacks via many different axes. And tactics and techniques is very important that you know, you understand what tactics you can apply for destruction of enemy air defenses. And speaking of tactics, well, our target is going to be in this test and training range in Utah. And well, I have to tell you that the objective of this exercise, I'm not doing this to show you the typical tactics. This is a, you know, wild whistle heaven. If you take a look, let me go back to the original lighting. You see the many mountain ranges that you have around this target area, and you can pretty much arrive by many multiple axes by flying low and then popping up and dropping your harm missiles. this is not the purpose of this exercise. And I know this, somebody will unavoidably point out, oh, you should have used the ranges and this and that. I'm not doing that. I'm just using this as a framework to test high altitude type of missions where, you know, there is probably no masking terrain or there is a limited capability for that. So I'm going to be flying high. And you will see that when you're high, in particular, these enemy air defense that we have today, which is an SA-5, they are pretty much very, very, very nasty. So better bring our A game into this. So I'm gonna switch to this type of layer, and we're going to roll the scenario, and on the meantime, let me show you what do we have in Nellis Air Force Base. We do have a variety of different aircraft. We have F-16s with Mavericks. We do have F-16s with HARM missiles. And we have these beautiful F-4Gs, Phantoms, with you know, their targeting pods and etc., etc. And we do have these EA-6, which are basically in the role of electronic warfare and intelligence. And well, right now everything is pretty silent. So our AWACS just detected two types of radar. It was more or less something like a blip. Let me show you the missions that we do have here. I'm sorry, I'm working with two monitors. That's why you see them sliding coming through over there. So we have everything in place. And the first thing that I want to do, I want to show you how lonely it is and how difficult. And again, it is doable if you use the terrain, which is a principle of tactics, but this is not what I want to show today. I want to show how it is possible to attack these air defenses using high altitude, which was something totally new to me. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to keep my F-16s high, and I'm going to launch right now. I'm going to launch these a flight of F-16s. They have their HTS, which is the HARM targeting system or targeting pod, and we're going to launch them. 2 minutes to go. I'm going to accelerate the time, and I love, you know, how you can see the radar. These are
negative radar contact. Procedural control only. Maintain all.
So we have a flight right now of 4, and I'm gonna fly them right here, and I'm gonna reduce a bit the rate of simulation. You see how the radars that you're seeing, you have a long range just early warning radar, and I am seeing, what is that? It's we have pretty much 2 search radars within this. What is this? This is an SA-5 type of system, kind of old. This thing doesn't exist anymore. Nobody's, I believe, is using it right now, but it doesn't matter. So I'm gonna put, if you excuse me right now, I'm going to add a holding area for my aircraft, and let me see. I'm gonna put it holding area 1, and I'm gonna put it as a support mission. Oh, of course, I don't have reference points. I'm gonna add 2 reference points right here. And here, select them and create the new mission. And this is gonna be holding area 1. And off we go. Oh my god, I did it wrong again. Sorry, I apologize for that. So hold on a second. So I'm going to create a new mission. The name is going to be the same. I'm just such a knucklehead. It's going to be a support mission. And we have the 2 targeting areas right there. And we will not assign any type of unit. That's our holding area. Okay, we'll use that later. And this is our flight. And let's just start moving it towards now. Take a look at this. Who is detecting this guy? So right now it is the pods from the F-16s, which is good. That's a good indication. If this could be, you know, F-16s devoid of any type of targeting pod, you will be dead. You basically, these F-16s wouldn't see them by any other means that the, you know, the AWACS. That's the only way that they can be aware of the SA-5 that is surrounding them. So we're just going to let them approach, and let me show you something. I'm gonna move them into the fray. This is the range of the HARM missiles, and you see right now, hold on a second, let's pause that. Oh, look at this, this is beautiful. You see right now the targeting pods of the F-16s of this flight are detecting 2 radars. One radar, why is it showing this to me? One radar, it is just you know, a search radar or an early warning radar, and the other one is a fire control radar. This is the nasty part. These guys are basically, you know, being painted for for a missile, and that's not good. It is even possible that the missile was launched, and well, I don't know what that would be in that case. But you see the fire control radar, the thing in red over there, is pretty much telling these guys, hey, something, we're just targeting you. And these guys, there is nothing they can do. There they come. There they come. These are the missiles, are targeting them. Of course, you can leave them. At this point, you can leave them to do their thing. They will probably split and drop to a lower altitude. But right now, I'm gonna just put them. I'm gonna move them into the holding area as soon as these missiles are gone. So, of course, you can say, as I mentioned before, hey, dude, why you are not using the terrain, which is premium? And I agree with that. This is a very bad place to be a SAM operator. because, you know, all these mountain ranges, you're toast. I mean, you can approach all the way up to here, pop up and drop a couple of harms, and the SAM system is gonna be gone. But this is not the purpose of it. I just wanted to show you something, and that thing is gonna be coming. So let me see if these guys do survive. These missiles are still have a lot of energy, but these missiles are typical of high altitude engagement. So when these aircraft drop it, they're just not, the missiles are not too much of a threat. So let's move these guys into the holding area, and we're going to prepare to launch our Wild Weasel aircraft. And I'm going to launch these two. Maybe you cannot see the nature of them. They have just their electronic warfare pod, and we're going to launch them. These Falcons have Mavericks, we don't care. And in the same action, we're going to launch another flight of F-Force Gs. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to create a screen. I'm going to jam these radars, the radars of the SA5 system, and this will allow the F-4s to approach. Again, I'm using high altitude. Don't get all worked up because I'm not using the terrain. That's on purpose. It is, you know, the range that I was given to. To make it more believable, probably I should have, you know, put this mission anywhere else in the world where there is some plains. I don't know. I am thinking right now the Argentine Pampas. But no can do. I refuse to wage wars in Argentina. Just kidding. I'm from Argentina. And I just wanted to keep it a bit, you know. This is not realistic, but keep it within certain suspension of disbelief, if you will. So these Falcons, they still have their harms. So what we can do also, we have the KC 135C. So we're going to refuel them. Oh my god, they keep shooting at us. So this refuel mission, I am not liking it, how it's so close. So we're going to move it a little bit to the south. And let's take care of our flights right here. We have flight 371, which are our Phantoms. We're going to fly them north. And flight 370, which is our two Prowlers. We're going to fly them north too. And right now our Falcons are kind of refueling. Right now you see the status right there, refueling. Oh, there is something that I wanted to do. I want to see if the TAC view actually reflects that refueling. What's going on there? I don't know. But anyway, did they crash or something? But sooner than later, we're going to send them directly into the holding area. I'm gonna need those aircraft. They're still not topped off. So let's accelerate this. I don't want to waste your time, of course, but sometimes this thing is just so beautiful to watch. And there is no signal from any fire control radar, so we are good. They're just keeping an eye on us. That's their range. And the one detecting it right now, it is the AWACS, of course, and it alternates between the AWACS and the F-16s, I suppose, which is fine. All right. So right now comes the show. I'm gonna put my flight 371 into the holding area. So I'm gonna go to the mission editor, and what were these? These were the Phantoms. So I'm gonna put them right there. And I'm gonna keep moving north with the prowlers. Right now this thing is silent? No. Still. Yeah, it looks like the Falcons are still getting them into their... And I'm gonna put the Falcons into this holding area too. And let's go to mission editor, holding area. The Falcon J's. No, were these J's? Yeah, of course. Flight 370. Clear. So we have two flights in the holding area. The prowlers look pretty with their fuel load. So I'm gonna move these guys into the fray. As soon as they get into the missile engagement area, what I'm going to do with these prowlers is gonna be the following. I'm gonna basically put their offensive countermeasures on, which means basically we're going to ask them to jam that SAM system. There we go. Shows jamming. And probably what I'm gonna create right now, it is another mission or an area or pattern where I'm gonna keep these prowlers jamming the enemy radar. But there is something that I want to show you guys, and that's the following. Time is now to 1, and of course this is cheating, but this is an exercise, and I really wanted to show you this because it showed me a lot and allowed me to understand what is happening from the other side. So I'm changing now to the Russian side, and take a look at this. This is just freaking beautiful. This is a radar. It is jammed, and as you can see, you have, this is the AWACS. This is one of the refueling KC-135Rs. You see the update is pretty much 2 seconds, every 2 seconds or so. But look at the prowlers with their jammers. Has been 4 minutes that these guys don't know where the hell they are because they're jamming. And, they have a very vague idea where they are, but, 4 minutes, 480 knots, this thing could be anywhere in this area. So that is just freaking beautiful. Now it has lost all contact, and they still can see, the tankers, I believe these are. But this is impressive. The tankers are really very, very big. But the other thing that really is incredible is that this jamming appears to be directional. It's like, my prowlers are around here and jamming in this axis, and the only thing that the radar can see right now, it is these 2 tankers, which is mind-blowing because, there is, let me switch back to the US. Take a look at this. We have a complete flight, and it's like not a couple of miles, but, it's very, 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 very close. We have 2 flights. We have F-4s and F-16s, and the radar system has no clue because of the jamming of this. And of course, the jamming is so effective that these guys haven't shot a single time because they cannot acquire. They basically cannot acquire this, and they don't know about this. And the tankers, all of these group of aircraft, they are a bit out of range for them. So this literally blows my freaking mind. It's like, Jesus Christ, guys. It's like, oh my God. But anyway, after this little tantrum of fanboyism, I want to emphasize that, we have the jammer going on, and if these prowlers could have harm missiles, well, I don't need to tell you what the outcome is going to be. They're going to be able to approach very, very nicely into the SAM system, and pretty much have their way with them. So really, I'm so happy with this. It's like, when you see a simulation and you see these little places that you learn about. I have read about this, but to be honest, I didn't pay too much attention. It was like when I started doing it by myself, it's like, whoa, God. You see, take a look at this. This is just freaking amazing. There is no F-4s, there is no F-16s from the Russian side. I mean, as seen from the Russian side. This is just freaky. So, basically, what I'm going to do now, I'm going to create a station for these guys. And what is the range of these harms? 75 miles or something like that. So I'm gonna create a jamming station around here. That's pretty close. Let's put it into that valley right there, into this basin. 52 miles. Okay. I'm gonna put 2 reference points. And I'm gonna create another mission, and I'm gonna call this Pearl. My phone. It's gonna be a support mission. Oh, wait a second. So I need to take out all this. How does it look? Looks great. So no missiles have been fired yet. And this is going relatively well. So it is time to call our cleanup crew with the Mavericks and everything. You will see, first I want to destroy the radars. And 2 minutes to go. Of course, I want to kill the radars, like the fire controls and the surge and the high radars with harm missiles. And then after that, we're going to go with some Mavericks to do some damage into it. So I just cannot resist, and I'm gonna do another peek from the Russian side, and you see, you know, same picture, which is just great. You cannot see anything. The prowlers are invisible. This thing is jammed to oblivion. All right. I'm gonna go to the mission editor, and I'm gonna add the prowlers. And as far as they keep jamming, that's absolutely awesome. So I'm gonna move my phantoms. So this is gonna be some sort of IP or something like that, and then we'll have different points for them. And of course, if we are going to use the principle of mass, I'm gonna have my Falcons come in trail. Let's move the timer a bit forward.
Push tactical. Buster 2-1. Negative radar contact. Procedural control only. Maintain all separation.
So our flight of F-16s is done. So let's move them. So you see, we are well within with our aircraft. Remember that we tried this using the Falcons, which are right here. So this is the range of this SA-5 system, and we're well within. And there's not even a single fire control radar on right now because of the jamming. And that's just great, because this allows me to fly at a high altitude and engage this radar with almost impunity. Oh, now we have a fire control radar. Let me reduce the time right now. I do believe that's what's happening. It is that this radar may be detecting these F-16s that are coming right there. Let's switch to the Russian side. And no, they cannot see them. But now they can see the F-16s. So there is some bleed through, of course. They cannot see the prowlers. I mean, they can see them, but you know, the targeting is so bad. It's like, you know, almost half a minute. So let's go back to our proper side. And oh, nice, we're within range. So let's target them. I'm gonna launch 4. So the harms are coming out. And we're going to launch another salvo from this other flight. Four missiles. So you understand what is happening here. Let me pause it. We have the 4 harms launched from the F-4Gs, and now we will have very soon harms launched from the F-16s. We have the Prowlers here conducting their jamming or electronic warfare mission. We have these F-16s, I'm sorry, that are coming in for cleaning up the launchers once the raiders are destroyed. So let me show you from the Russian side what they can see. They still cannot see anything of the F-16s that are coming south. They cannot detect them yet. And they have this series of bogies. And they can see the Falcons, but the targeting, I believe, yeah, it's not bad to be honest. Yeah, 2 seconds is not bad. So we better come back to our US side and have these guys to launch their missiles. Accelerate the timing. We have a series of hits. These guys have not launched it. How come? Where are these harm missiles? So you see the detection range has changed significantly, which means probably they have suffered some very severe damage into them. I don't see anything coming out of them. Oh, these guys are bingo fuel. Which is fine. Go and drink. Now we're using the same axis, which is kind of pointless. But just in case, let's keep them under the protection of this. And this one is very easy because I already have a mission set up for them. And they're going to be engaging them into the respective training area. So these ones are... Yeah, there is nothing to target. That's why they didn't launch. But they have 8 missiles. We're supposed to have... Oh no, that's fine. Yeah, they didn't launch because everything was destroyed, which is always good news. So now I'm going to assign this flight of F-16s into the training range, and this is gonna be a patrol mission. So hold on a second. That's a SEAD patrol type of mission, and let's accelerate. Has been 15 minutes. There is no BDA. We don't know what happened there. The only thing, oh, there we go. As they get close by, they see some light damage, and go for them, boys. We have Mavericks. Why they're not... There is a problem with detection. Kind of funny. There's only light damage, but they should be able to engage with their Mavericks. Okay, so what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna take them out, re-engage. So I'm gonna take these guys out. All the way up here. All right. The Maverick has only 7 nautical miles of range. Those Mavericks have been launched like with a rifle. And that's all we have. And these guys are going to refuel and later on go home. These are, we're going to order them to RTB and etc, etc. So that's pretty much what I wanted to show. We have medium damage into it. Let's see what were the losses that they suffered. We suffered one Phantom. I don't know what happened there. I will have to investigate. I didn't see them being shot down, so probably he ran out of fuel or something happened there. And they lost an odd pair radar and a square pair radar and a tall king radar and 4 launchers and 1 Zeus, which is, you know, good, but not complete destruction. And of course, that was the principle of persistence. And yet again, I have to emphasize this because, you know, this video has been long and people will start looking into it. And I'm not using terrain. I just wanted to do it from a high altitude. And that's basically it. So I have been successful in engaging them without getting too many missiles launched against us. Part of it was luck, because sometimes the SA-5s will launch against our harm missiles. But after a successful jamming, which was pretty close, around 40 nautical miles, I was able to launch my harms and then produce some extra damage with the Maverick missiles, which is, you know, a good outcome. Of course, there will have to be a second wave to clean up, because the solution for the enemy is just to, you know, pull the tarp on a new radar and everything is going to be up and running. So these things are, you know, better treated with a lot of force and destroyed. And yet again, I was not trying to use the terrain. This was just a high altitude, like, because, you know, the range, the Utah test and training range doesn't lend itself for many engagements without using the terrain. So that's pretty much it. And the other thing that I want to emphasize, it is the directional and the masking that the jamming mission was able to produce. Probably I'm going to post another video to show you how, when you fall out of that axis of jamming, you get completely visible for the enemy, which is particularly great. And well, you know what? Let's do an experiment then. This flight has enough fuel, barely. But let me show you. Let me put everybody down there. This is just a continuation. It's just a bonus track. And I'm going to add the unit right here, like a sister unit for the USSR. Oh, hold on a second. I need to switch sides right now. So let's pause it. And let me switch to the USSR. I wanted to see this. Wow. That's good. That's good. All the radars not operating or destroyed. I never understood why in the database we have like 3 square pairs. I don't know why is that, but anyway, let me add another radar right here just for the purposes of demonstrating And this is gonna be Soviet Union. Soviet Union. SA5. I suck at the editor. Oh, my bad. Jesus Christ. I was looking in the wrong place. And SA5. I believe this was the one that I used before, the 3 battalion. With no... Well, it doesn't actually matter. So, oh, Jesus Christ. Senior moment. What is that? SA5. That's our Vega right there. What does this thing have? Well, this is the same thing roughly. I want to put it very, very close to the other one. This one is a new one. Squeaky new. And let's run this thing and see what it can see. So both of them are jammed. And oh no, they cannot see anything. Oh, there we go. This is a refueler. I don't know what this is. But if we come back to the US side and let's do this, let's put this flight out of the umbrella of the jammer and let the time fly. Haha, boss. And let's go to the US. You see, this is just freaking incredible. So what I did, I just added a new radar because I needed it, just because I was so successful with the previous attack. I just had to add it. So we have a jam mission right here with 2 prowlers masking the F4s, so the radar cannot see them because they are behind the jamming mission. But I just moved these F-16s out of the way, and look what happens. They can see them, and not only they can see them, they just launch it against them. You see, every 2 seconds or something like that, they just can't do it. So now if I go back to the US and I fly my aircraft into the cover of the jamming mission, if they survive, of course. And they're running out of fuel, so probably they're divided right now. They're having like a dilemma: protect themselves or going back to the refueling. But you see, they will, as they fly into this, they will fall into the protection. You see, they still can see them. The radar, the Russian or the Soviet radar still sees them, and they will eventually they can even identify them. This is just friggin' amazing. They're moving, they're trying to avoid that these missiles. Come on, boys, run, run, run. And these guys just having a hard time following these orders, because you see the fuel is kind of scarce. But you see now they're pretty much covered there, and if you go into the USSR, you will start seeing that they will and of course I have the feeling that this has to be altitude sensitive, because right now these guys have dropped from 36 K down to, what was it, 20 or something like that, and now they're climbing, and they're still below. And there we go. Look at that. Look at that. Isn't this great? Like, you know, right now the update is every 13, 15 seconds. Just amazing. They're just... These guys are unbelievable from, you know, warfare sims. Let's go back to the US side. You see? Oh, my prowlers have decided to take a break. Nice. Thank you for telling us. But anyway, you see the point. It's like a directional jamming, probably also sensitive to altitude, which means that if you want to do this, you will have to place different layers of jamming at different altitudes to be completely covered. And, well, I just cannot believe how good is this simulator. So pretty much that's all I have for today. I hope that, you know, this year is better than the previous one, and we're going to be you know, getting together via this YouTube channel or at my blog. The address is placed there down in the acknowledgements. And we have missiles being launched at us. So thank you very much for watching, and I will see you around. Thank you. Bye-bye.